Welcome to another edition of Welcome to My Hood. My name is Sharif. My heart goes out to the victims in the Las Vegas shooting. Around the world there's been a bunch of tragedies, from Florida to Mexico, Puerto Rico to the Virgin Islands, a lot of places. And we're not going to exclude the shootings that have been happening in a lot of different cities, as well as Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit, and other places that most of y'all know is happening around you. We have a lot of little different things going on, and in the midst of the protests that's going on, we can't forget what it's symbolizing and why it's happening and stuff. And I have to say big ups to a lot of the pro football players, basketball players, pro sports in general, who have been taking this time to show that they are looking at the same thing that we see and don't appreciate it as much. It has nothing about being called a son of a bitch and stuff like that, but there was the push that was needed. So thank you to that guy over there in that little house and stuff. Another thing too is Baltimore has a real reason to protest. It has nothing to do with the troops, has nothing to do with a flag or rag or national anthem or anything like that. We have been under the, I guess you could say, the hands of the law being squashed. We have detectives now that's being prosecuted and stuff by the federal government. Lots of criminals have gotten killed behind the antics of these cops as well. A lot of cops have killed a few of these people we are protesting over. There's so many names, you probably see it on screen anyway. And one of the particular ones was Freddie Gray, Tyrone, a few other names that I just mentioned. And I even have videos showing that cops have beat up different people and probably went to court and settled it out or didn't get no type of penalty or whatsoever. But in the same breath, in the same instance, we as individuals know how these cops operate. And we shouldn't be giving them any reason to put their hands on us. We know and understand that they are there to do their job, doing it correctly, not always. Even showing up at the scene of the crime, not always. Most likely going to come afterwards nowadays, since this protest, the riots and the different things, and us bringing the transparency to the negativity that they also have been bringing to us in life. And not saying that criminals are right. These little rays are definitely not right. And we as a people in the community should not be taking up for them. I don't care if they're your family, your baby father, your niece, your uncle, your nephews, anybody. I don't care if this man put something up in you or take something away from you. Something like, it shouldn't be taken up from you any daggone way. But at the same time, a lot of us look at these characters as if they are bigger than the kings, bigger than the queens out here. And they're just normal people like me and you. thing that makes it so sad is these same characters that will turn on you. If they did it to someone on the street, they will do it to you eventually. You know, we tend to like bad boys until they do something bad to us. That's one thing. I think we're probably nearing 270 murders right now and stuff. Yeah, murders that's almost done on the same block, different days, and sometimes we completely connected. Oh boy, I mean, I've seen some of the Baltimore legends that have now become memories. You know, Vicious B, Antoine Carter, a couple other cats that I remember from the streets, and now they're a victim of the streets. And talking about, it's a scary feeling, because when you think about, you used to be out there running with these cats, remember these cats from the clubs and been in their company personally, it's kind of heartbreaking to see someone come along and do something to them now. You know, a lot of them have changed their lives and stuff, and come back and take some, I guess, some vengeance on them now. Might not sit too well, but at the same time, God is in control. That's what everybody say. Not man, but as I've seen, man has been taking a lot of different avenues to control certain situations and stuff like that. I'm not gonna say it's good or bad, but at the same time, if you are interfering in God's work, whether it's God's plan or not, you know you have a higher power to answer to. That's what I'm saying about that. Another thing that's kind of creeping me out is gun laws. I personally can't see a gun law being the deterrent to change a person's mind to use it. Think about this. A gun in a person's hand is more powerful than none. You hold the cards when you're face to face with someone that does not have one. Now, whatever's on your mind to do or to how to use it, I can't say no more about that. But at the same time, a gun law is not going to change your mind from using it or having it. Real simple. Sentences for gun laws. Now they're bringing them down to about a year, and I have friends, personal friends, who have went through the process of having a gun and have served 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5. How is 1 year going to make it a difference? And to me, going backwards. I don't understand how that works. I don't understand the mathematics and the possibility. I don't even understand the judges who are letting some of these repeat offenders go. And to me, I guess it's a sense of putting back on the street and they'll take care of the job for the police, since the patrons act like the police not doing their job. So I guess you say mourning over patrolling. I guess that's what you can call it. But a gun law, let's get to that. How is a gun law going to change anything? Think about it. Man shoots up damn near 600 people. Did he get sentenced? No, he killed himself. Had plenty of guns. They gave it to him. No mental illness involved. Pure evil. Real simple. Pure evil. He wasn't targeting black people. He was targeting anyone. I feel if it's not a terrorist act, it is an evil act. One of the two. And there's no mental illness involved in that, so do not blame someone that has mental illness, making them feel like, oh, I'm one way, I'm a killer because I have a mental illness. Don't put that judgment on no one, because that has nothing to do with it. Evil and mental illnesses are two different things. But back to the gun law thing again. I'm not going to skip over that. Gun laws is going to make, punishment is what makes gun laws effective. But how can you punish someone if you don't catch them before they use the gun? Most times, after they use the gun, they kill themselves. What's the punishment in that? You can't even get an answer from them to why he did it. Maybe if you got an answer, maybe you could change a process in this whole situation. Maybe you just won't do something again. But more normally, it's called inconvenience. I inconvenience you, I'll be dead, I'll be making history, and most people, most times, history makers after they're dead anyway. That's when people notice you the most after you're dead. And in this case, a lot of people, as such as, I guess you could say, terrorists, they kill themselves after they do their act. Same thing with a gun, I guess you could say a homegrown terrorist. But the gun law itself, how is it going to benefit us if it's being used and then the person kills themselves afterwards? How is it a gun law is going to stop people from getting guns if they already are getting them illegally? What are you going to do? Find all the illegal gun sellers and process them? You catch the gun carriers, but you never catch the gun sellers. You don't even know where they're coming from. First of all, you don't know if there's a gun ferry somewhere around here that's dropping them off, or is someone giving them out the trunk of the car. You don't know. You don't know where these guns coming from. A lot of times they're getting stolen. So you mean you're going to process the person that has a legal license or is illegal trader of guns because this person came along and stole a gun? Gun laws can't see how it's going to work effectively. If that's the case, look at alcohol. Alcohol kills. Alcohol has been in a lot of accidents, a lot of factors in accidents. Still, it's legal. Prohibition has been around. Legalized it. It's taxed, and they're still making moonshine. So, how is it a gun law which would be on the same level as alcohol? You put all these gun laws out here, you make us get licenses, you make us get mental evaluations, and still you get people that have guns. If not legally, illegally, still being used. You have people that's using guns that hasn't even been caught for using their gun. So they go home, they go on to be a repeat offender, and a repeat offender, and a repeat offender, and when they get caught, they get out. So, gun laws, what purpose is it going to make? You can argue it all day long. We have to get in the minds and the hearts of our loved ones. We have to spread that. We have to spread the message to them, through however method. However method is not going to work if we just look at them and say, oh, he got issues. You're the issue if you don't address them with him, or help him address them, or help him recognize the need to be addressed. We gotta stop ignoring the possibility of helping someone who might be asking for it, but not in a direct way like we want it to be asked or begged upon. Recently seen some stuff on TV and on the internet and stuff talking about grade changing, and
Tonight, serious allegations of grade changing at a Baltimore City school.
A Project Baltimore investigation has uncovered allegations that students failed classes required to graduate, yet were still given diplomas.
They had serious concerns about how students are graduating and what they describe as a pressure to pass seniors at any cost.
They wanted the fabulous 44 to graduate.
No matter what.
No matter what. We knew that in January.
That same educator, we were told, submitted failing grades for 6 students in a required course. Yet every one of those students somehow received a diploma. We know because we were at graduation on June 9th at Morgan State University. And after seeing the grades for ourselves, we had similar concerns, especially when we looked at state testing. So you have 0% proficiency in math with an 87% graduation rate. How can that happen?
Grade changing. And again, giving out diplomas for students that had not earned them.
These are allegations we took straight to the Baltimore City School Administration. Does that raise a red flag to you?
It is something that we would look into.
But it's not just grades and graduation rates that have educators worried. Another NACA2 employee described a climate of fear.
Any day you could go into that school and it would be 3 or 4 fights, fires being set. One student threw a book at a teacher and hit her in the eye.
You think this school, NACA, should close?
I really think it should be closed.
I personally can say I think I'm experiencing some great changing in someone that I know. And how I know it because their attitude and their work habits and studies and the report card that I've seen, I say ain't no way in the world they pass it. I remember when I was young and I seen the process of No Child Left Behind. And this process has been going on for a long time, and I don't think it's going to change, or if it changed, it changed to benefit the school system because maybe there's so many children being born and being into the school system, and by them closing all these schools down, you really don't have enough space to provide for these children and enough teachers to provide the education for these children. And you have a lot of fear in the schools where children are afraid to be smart. They feel if they are a product of the environment around them, which is dumbing down, acting stupid, or acting like some damn clown, they feel they are a part of the situation. Well, yeah, they're a part of the situation, but they're a part of the norm, which is most children that are afraid to try to get somewhere in life, they will do everything to prevent you from teaching them how to get ahead in life. Teachers are there for a reason. If that's the case, why send them to school? Keep them home, give them a job, get them a process to get a job, send them to a trade school. You know, teach them how to bang on a daggone wood with a nail and hammer. You know, give them something. Job Corps do it, and they give you an education while you're there. But schools, it seems like they're closing them and making Job Corps and all these other places responsible for a child's well-being. Parents already do it. We have to go to work. We have to do this. We have to do that. We have other children we got to take care of. Understandable. The teacher is the second parent. You are the primary parent. But if you leave all the responsibility on a person who has, oh boy, period after period of children, 40 to 50, and somewhere along the line, if you allow that teacher to be the parent, they might slip, and you can't blame them. You know, as soon as the kid comes home from school, you should be, if you're not home, maybe on the phone with them. Maybe have someone there that can ask them, what you do in school today? Where's your homework at? And teachers in schools, y'all should be not on that tip where you're talking about y'all can't issue homework. How do you expect a child to even get further or even think about doing something if you don't give them responsibility? Bad enough in some schools, some houses, we don't give a child responsibility, but to go out there and do something stupid, and then he's responsible for getting away, running, shooting, fighting, acting crazy, getting a baby. Then his responsibilities are that much important to him because he's the one that's going to suffer behind this. We give him responsibilities in the wrong way. We're giving them at the wrong time. We're giving them for the wrong purposes. We can't expect a teacher to always follow our guidelines when there's guidelines in place for her or him to supply an education to the kids. We, as parents, have to look at our job. Our kids and our job is 1 and 2, because you have to provide in order for them to be sufficient in eating, living, household arrangements, and all types of stuff that comes with the house. But education is the child's job. Now, if the child is slipping, then I guess that's where the parent, teacher, and the child comes into a discussion, or should. Or someone should be notified to be told, hey, your child is not living up to standards that we have set for them. It doesn't mean give them an opportunity to go out here and figure, oh, well, you know, the student in me is just not there, so I'm going to this. No, it's not go off, and the teacher is going to provide the grade that I want to get out of here. The faster the better. Well, the faster you get out of there, the faster you're going to find yourself facing responsibilities that you have no way of doing without doing something stupid in order to maintain. And that maintaining does not mean you're going to be responsible. People that thought they was maintaining either are carried by 6 or judged by 12. Think about it. A lot of your friends has been prosecuted or put in a casket. A lot of people you've seen coming up before you and after you are put in a casket or about to be put in a jail cell. Think about it. A schoolyard shouldn't become a prison yard or a graveyard. You put yourself in one of them 3 categories. Either you're going to want to go to school, or you're going to be put in a graveyard, or you're going to be put in a prison yard. Or you're just going to be running around on the street like the streets is your yard. Bouncing from pillar to post, still living with mom if she can even afford to feed you or house you, baby mother. You just never know. You can never say how your life is going to turn out if you have no plans to make it turn out to be successful. Most people have a game plan in their mind. I don't care if you're someone, whether you're working, whether you're doing something productive, you always have a game plan. Your game plan should be legalized or getting to be legalized. Now, going out here playing like Yosemite Sam with a gun, anybody can do that. Anybody can pull a trigger. And most times, those that's in front of the trigger are trying to get from the foot. Whether you're in front of the barrel or behind the barrel, because either way is a punishment. Either way. Me, myself, I've been out there in them streets. I've been a part of them streets. I did things in them streets. Now, I talk about these streets because I can. I done been there. I know exactly where a lot of people is coming from. Only difference is faces and lingo. Guns are still the same. Drugs are a lot different. Commodity to get it is different too. And certain demographics to get it there's a little change. And the same methods, yeah, they out here. Nothing changed in that particular category. And then you have the people who feel you're a legend when you're out here doing this stupid. The same way you can look up to me when I'm doing bad, you can look up to me when I'm doing good, and I'll be here longer to see myself and see who's looking up to me. If you're in that graveyard, you can't see nothing. If you're in that penitentiary, prison, jail, wherever, you can get the letters to see, and then you can get those that's coming in the door along with you that'll praise you while you're in there, but then it's a different game. We have to stop trying to be a part of an environment and try to cure the culture in our environment. See, us as black people, we don't have a culture in America. We make it up as we go along. The sad thing is, a lot of our cultures has become violence. We don't know how to conversate through the conflict to get to a resolution. We don't know about anger management to solve things before it gets to conflict. And then our resolution is to pick up a gun or to swing. And then we have other issues that come along with that, because every man is not a man, because they don't know how to be one, because they have not learned how to be one. So they figure, I'll leave it in the hands of bullets, someone else. I'll go get a whole bunch of my boys and we can come back and we can handle this thing. Might not be the safest choice nowadays, because some people are coming back and some people aren't returning because of that coming back. You gotta remember all that. I say we should Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, tweet, any method it is to get through to a person and tell them, let's have a ceasefire this day. Let's put the guns down for this day. Enough is enough. One body on the street is too much. We have a lot of too muches. Let's just ask ourselves how our parents feel if we was on the other end of that sheet. If we was on the other end of that phone call where they asked you to press 9 to speak to the inmate. How would you feel knowing your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters, your children have to look at you in one of them two predicaments? See, this ends with us because it starts with us. A lot of us are innocent in this whole process. We have people taking from one another and they feel this is alright. Don't take something from somebody because you are so selfish. And this mentality is actually provided through our childhood. We looking at our children, and guess what? They're doing this stuff when they're little. So you can imagine if you don't correct it, it will continue when they're grown. And then someone is going to correct it, either with a badge or someone else with a gun, either then or later. As individuals in Baltimore City, I'm not even talking about nowhere else right now, we have to just take one step at a time. Baltimore is a major step. A lot of these parents are talking like, oh, not my child, whether they dead or alive. You should have put some more knowledge into your child's head. Instead of just talking about it, be about it. Yeah, I could talk about it, but I tell you one damn thing, I talk a lot to people, children, my own, and let them know, this is not what you want. This is not what you want. If you know someone that came back from death, I mean, sure enough came back like a year or two later, let me know. A few minutes of death is not the same. We know more people that came back from going to jail and then to go back again than we know people that came back from death. I'm not trying it. You can if you want. But I'm not. And it's not sensible to even make somebody else try it. You gotta think about this process we do it in. Because the same people out there who's creating it is the same people that is solving it. Yeah, a lot of our parents might not, but a lot of our friends and associates and children, mothers and all that, somebody getting through to you. Because a sentence shouldn't be the purpose you're looking for to get through to you. What is in your mind to make you say, I gotta get this sentence? You don't even intend to get caught, that's why you run. Or else you would stand there and take your punishment like a man or a woman. So you don't think about getting caught. Because if you did, you would obviously wouldn't do it maybe. So that's why I say, what is your purpose? Ask yourself that. Tell yourself that. Because you're making a lot of people hurt for no reason. Even if their kids bring it on themselves, pick your hands up instead of picking up a gun. Think about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.